Yeah, I think obviously a great win for our program. I want to shout out Coach Barlow and his wife Sierra. Had a baby boy this morning at 1:11 a.m. and I just saw a FaceTime video, and that baby is a big boy, 10 pounds 6 ounces. Mom and baby are doing well, so we got a new Bobcat in the family. But thought our guys got off to a great start. Maintained the lead throughout the whole course of the game. We've done what we've kind of done, let teams back into it. We bent what we didn't break, made some big plays down the stretch, and Mark Sears was phenomenal again. I thought BVP carried us in the first half. Everyone who played contributed in some type of way, and without Miles Brown in there, who is one of our best on-ball defenders, and I thought Tommy Schmock came in and played more minutes than he's played all year and did a really good job with that. So just happy we won the game.
Coach, obviously BVP got a little banged up against Akron. How nice was it to see him hit those threes early in that game and show that there was no lagging effects really from what happened on Tuesday? Yeah,
it was a weird angle that he got hit, obviously went back in the game. He was sore the next day, which he didn't really do much in practice anyway. But Tyler Congrove, our trainer, is phenomenal. Gave him some treatment, did some exercises, rehab. And Ben's put a lot of time and effort in. He'd struggled, I think, 4 or 5 games. Had 2 really good halves in 2 of those 4 or 5 games. But those threes he hit in the first half were really big for us.
Did you get a sense he was due for a big night? Did this come out of left field? He had 4 made threes in your last 6 games, and he had 4 in the first half.
Yeah, I think with him it's like balance. Just understanding the shots. And I thought today he was controlled. Maybe took 1 flyer. Sometimes he gets antsy. When he doesn't get a shot up. But I trust him. He puts the time and effort in. He shoots before practice, shoots after practice. And I think when he's making threes, we're a different team. And to go 10 for 25, I think it's 2 straight games. We're right around 50, 40, 90. And offense was doing really well. We had good balance. Mark Sears, he's the engine. He's been phenomenal all year long.
I thought Ben made a nice point about Mark. He said when things get tight, he has an knack for making the toughest shot possible. And I thought it was the jumper from the right side of the lane down the stretch kind of fit that exactly. Like it's a guy going to get his shot and making it.
Well, that was a big bucket, and to have the courage to, step up and take a shot like that and then hit it, I think was huge. And we said it from day one, like nothing phases the kid. He's just a steady Eddie, and I think that's just kind of who he is. And he's a competitive kid, he's a fiery kid, and I thought they did a pretty good job guarding him. But you go back and watch the tape, and he's just so shifty and slithery. Where some of those finishes, right hand layups, left hand, offensive rebounds. Sometimes you wonder how he gets in there, but he has a knack to do that.
That was my next question. He's 6'1", whatever it is, and he's still getting to the front of the rim seemingly at will with everyone having their eyes on him. How does he do that?
Yeah, I think he plays a lot bigger than he is. He's very athletic. If you look at the stats, which I don't have in front of me, he's probably our 2nd or 3rd leading offensive rebounder. He just got a knack, for the basketball. And the big thing for us is having the ball in his hands, especially late. He's a 94% free throw shooter. So you feel really good about, going down the stretch, having the ball in his hands, either making a play or getting to the foul line and knocking them in.
Coach Vanderpool has definitely brought in the most 3-pointers tonight, and he just radiates confidence on the court. How has he grown as a player and become such an asset to the team? Yeah,
my first year here, I guess he's going to be a sophomore, is that right? Yeah, going to be a sophomore, and was going to have a completely different role. And confidence was really big for him at that time, or lack of. And I think just having, putting the time and effort into it, and understand if you miss your first shot, be ready to shoot the second shot. If you miss the second one, be ready to shoot the third. And sometimes he would just think too much and overthink it, where I think it's been a growth process for him, understanding that, he puts so much, he shoots as much as anybody extra. And when you put that time and effort in, your confidence level is going to go up. And, sometimes it's difficult when you struggle the way you do, but he can do so many other things for us than just shoot threes. And I think, some of those games he kind of understood that, those two halves that he played well of posting up, getting offensive rebound putbacks. And, he's really grown in that area just, from a confidence standpoint.
So coming into this game, talking a little bit, you were missing Miles Brown, obviously. What changed in the game plan, kind of integrating Tom Schmuck in the starting lineup, going from a very strong defender like Miles to a guy who's very shifty offensive like Schmuck is?
Yeah, it's difficult, but everyone in the country is kind of dealing with it. And we always talk about control what you can and go day by day. And I think for our guys to come in and step up in different roles, I think it's different because you play him 28 minutes a game or whatever he plays, and you have kind of your rotation going. Well, now your rotation's different. Tommy's playing a little bit more than normal. He's probably our best on-ball defender, Miles, and to not have him in a game like this is worrisome because they got two phenomenal guards that put a lot of pressure on you getting downhill. I think just from a substitution standpoint, trying to figure out who we can put in there, who can rest. I thought about playing big, which we haven't done a whole lot this year, maybe just the LSU game, maybe one other game, but we'll kind of look at it here next 2 days of practice. And it's hard when you have short preparation time to do it. You can't just do it on the fly. We found out today he wasn't playing, so we had to kind of go with what we had.
Has Ohio or the MAC adjusted its protocol period to 5 days, like a lot of other leagues and conferences have?
Yeah, they have, and then I believe the Athens County and Ohio University have done the same thing, which is the biggest thing. The MAC could change, the NCAA could change, but Ohio University policy and Athens County trump everything. They have changed it. I can't tell you what it is. There's, I don't know what it is, but they did change it.
Coach, when Kent State was on that run, what was the message in that timeout? You come out and Roderick hits a three, it's a quick 7-0 run. What do you tell the guys at that point?
Yeah, I thought we got a little lackadaisical. We had a cross-court pass that got stolen. We had an errant backcourt pass that got stolen. They made a bucket. In closing the game like that, you have to kind of tighten up everything. And I think our guys kind of, I use the word sense of urgency. We have to have a sense of urgency. And we had to man up because we were doing a phenomenal job in the half court against their sets, but now it's like our transition defense, their transition offense, and then when that shot goes up, blocking out. Somehow, some way, you got to find a way to get a rebound. And we've been talking about that for the last 8 games, because we feel our half court defense is really, really, really good. And it's like, okay, how are they going to get back in the game? They're going to trap you. They're going to try to speed you up, which I thought they did a couple times. We made some poor decisions. They got some runouts. And it was kind of just a timeout to regather, regroup. Ben Roderick came out, hit a huge shot, out of the timeout. Great, execution on the guy's part.
Any part of you believe that could get him started, like maybe Vander Plaza's late three at Akron got him kind of going?
Yeah, I feel good about Ben Roderick right now. He went through that one stretch where I was a little worried just from a confidence standpoint. He didn't look like the same Ben Roderick. I think the last few games he's looked like Ben Roderick. He's practiced like Ben Roderick. He's playing with some confidence right now, so I like where he's at.
Coach, you were mentioning you're boxing out in transition defense, but it seems like in general, you guys let a couple offensive rebounds slip to Kent State, which kind of kept them hanging around. Do you see this as a consistent thing that you guys have to continuously work on that might bite you in the back come MAC tournament time? Yeah,
I think it's one of the best things they do. If you look at all offensive rebound percentages, in last year, last year at this time when we played them, they punked us on the boards and they were plus 24. We gave up 58%, missed blockouts. So that was a big emphasis coming in. We knew they were going to do it, and sometimes it's easier said than done. But I thought our guys battled for the most part. But they have 12 offensive rebounds. They had 8 at halftime. So, we gave up 4, in the second half. And we always talk about making championship game-winning plays, those 50-50 balls. You know, when that shot goes up, somehow, some way, you have to find a way to get the rebound or the loose ball. You know, Mark Sears got that, you know, one loose ball in front of their bench. That was a championship game-winning play. So we got to continue to talk about it. And like I always say, it's, you know, you can learn from winning, you can learn from losing, and it's way better to learn from winning. So we'll just show film, watch it, and hopefully keep getting better.
How do you keep this edge, Jeff? You won 7 in a row, you're perfect for time, you're leading the conference by 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, we have a pretty mature group, and that's one thing as a coach you always talk about, you know, playing with a sense of urgency, not being cool. We always talk about, you know, never getting tired of preparing to win. And I think, you know, there's two things you have to, you know, really handle: prosperity and adversity, right? And, you know, handling prosperity, you got to understand why you got to where you got to, how you got to where you got to. And, you know, we always talk about no matter who we play, their record's not going to matter because of the position that we're in. What are we, I don't know, 12-2 now? 12-2, 3-0, right? You won the MAC championship last year. You went to the NCAA tournament. Teams are going to prepare for you differently. They're going to play against you differently. They're going to compete harder against you differently. So that's something that our leadership has to keep talking about and, you know, just keep reinforcing or keep emphasizing.
Anything else?
All right, thanks for everyone coming. Good to see everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.